Hi guys and gals, welcome back or to the channel. If this is your first time here, please consider smashing that subscribe button. You know what? It's a special day today. We have a Volkswagen bus that's very good friend is actually going to move into. It's a show bus. It's beautiful. Wait until you see this. We're going to do a quick interview. Let's go check this out. I think I hear him coming now. Hey guys, I told you we had something special. This is amazing. Let me introduce you to Paul and Miss Daisy. Say hi, Paul.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Corey.
Miss Daisy is a Volkswagen bus. We're going to step inside, have a little interview, and get to know each other better. Look at this. I'm lucky enough. I'm up front. Let's spin this around. Let's find out what Paul's all about, guys. Let's find out what Miss Daisy is all about.
Well, I'm retired, and I would say that Miss Daisy is really kind of like a passion. I just love working on it. Very simply, I retired 6 years ago. My story is that we look after my mother-in-law. She has Alzheimer's, and she's had it for 28 years. And we've cared for her at home for the past 13. Prior to looking after her, and she's late stage Alzheimer's, so prior to her, my wife and I, we traveled a lot. And then it came to a complete stop when we started to look after my mother-in-law. But we've never stopped that urge to travel. Unfortunately, we just can't do it together, my wife and I. So I would take small trips, and eventually, and see, my mother-in-law's late stage Alzheimer's. Eventually, when she passes, my wife and I, we want to travel. And so what we're going to be doing is that we have our home and where we live, and we're just going to sell the home and eventually just move into Miss Daisy. And this will become our home. So we've owned Miss Daisy for the past 16 years, and I'm sure Corey will show you pictures of the early days of what she looked like. And so over the past 16 years, I've added my touch, and yeah.
So, Paul, you've done a pile, and I mean a pile of work to Miss Daisy.
Yes.
We've looked at some pictures. And guys, if you're really interested in this, please smash that thumbs up, and we will continue to show you some of the build of this awesome bus, what it actually looked like in the beginning. I'll throw some pictures in now of what it looked like in the beginning and how it looks now. Not only is this going to be your home on wheels, this was a show bus. You've had this in multiple shows, correct?
Correct. Yes.
So we actually have some nice trophies there as well, which is awesome. So you've put your time, pride, and effort, sweat, and tears into this, and to be on the road in it is going to be a huge accomplishment on its own, knowing that you really built this from the ground up.
Right. And it literally has been. Yeah, like I take it to the shows, and people say, well, geez, if she's a show van, how can you take her on the road and be traveling in her, because she's a show van. And there's many people that take vehicles either on a trailer and they take it to a show, they dump it off, and then they pack it up and take it home again and put it back in the garage. No, Miss Daisy, we use her as in we go camping in her, or I go camping in her. I travel around, I take her to the car shows, and when I take her to the car shows, it's about, I'll say, other people. Many people have had Volkswagen vans, buses, and it brings back memories. And it brings back, oh, I had one of these, or my grandparents had one of these, or my parents had one of these. This is the story. I've had people cry when they see the van. I've had people say, can I just sit in it? And I'll let them sit in it, because just sitting in the van, this van is 42 years old. That's a lot of years. And so people go, what does it feel like? And just sitting behind the bus and grabbing the 18-inch steering wheel, that's a big steering wheel. And it's like driving a bus, and you're right up front. There's no nose on the thing. So it's a different experience just driving this vehicle.
So when you first started rebuilding it, did you have the goal in mind to move into it down the road, or when you first started building it, were you building it as a show bus at the start?
No, it's always been our goal that we will move into the van, into the bus. We knew back, let's say, 16 years ago, that when my wife's parents, mine already had passed away, when my wife's parents had, her father passed away, we knew that we were going to be the caregivers for my mother-in-law. So we've always known that we would be caring for somebody, whether it be a father or her mother. And we just knew, but we just didn't know for how long.
Right.
We didn't know it was going to be, it was old timers generally, 5-6 years is what the life expectancy is.
Yeah.
We're talking 13, and she's had it for 28. So, yeah, we just didn't know how long it's going to be, and it's, she's healthy and she's still going strong. So, we just, so we know that eventually we will, it's always been, we will move into bus because we love traveling. And, and then, so when we first got the bus, we both looked at each other, my wife and I, and said, we're actually going to pay money for this van. That's how bad it was. It was in bad shape, and it took a lot of work. And my wife said, yeah, okay, let's do it, but I don't want this interior. And I said, well, what do you mean? She goes, it's too dark. So this van is what we call is semi-custom. It's not original because it isn't.
Right.
But it's not custom as in like it hasn't been slammed. I've still kept a lot of the original equipment, but what I've tried to do is make it bright inside. So it's coming into this van is not coming into a cave. It's bright.
That's the one thing I noticed is it's not dark.
No.
It's very bright, clean looking,
Yeah.
the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
You actually put Arborite on the walls.
Yeah, so this is countertop material.
Yeah.
I went through a couple of phases when I was doing this. In the van, in the buses themselves, what they have is a kind of a cardboard material, for lack of words.
Right.
It's a cardboard with a veneer on it. But you got to remember, this van, once it's closed up, it's very airtight. And so when you're breathing or any kind of moisture comes in here, that cardboard will just suck up the moisture and it sits in the cardboard. While generally, if you put your head into a Volkswagen van, a bus, it smells. It's got this musty old smell. And that's because stuff's growing in this cardboard. And so I decided, I went, you know what, I'm just trying to think of how can I get rid of this smell, because I'm going to be living in it. But also I got to make sure is that how do I keep it clean? So I came up with the idea is that, well, I'll put it out of Arborite. I'll make it out of Arborite, which is countertop material. So any piece where there would be wood, is now arborite.
So putting the arborite in has made a huge difference, because with the van being older,
Yes.
there's no smell, no mildewy smell, no old smell. It smells nice, crisp, and clean. What year, and tell me a little bit about Miss Daisy, what year is this van?
She's 1979. So this is the last year of, it's what we call the Type 2 bay window, is another word for it. The loaf, because it looks like a loaf of bread. So depending upon the combi, there's a whole bunch of different names for this van, depending upon where you're from. But it's the last year of this style. In 1980, they went to the more square type Vanagon, which is right up to, I think, 1982, is they went with the air-cooled engine. That's what this engine is. It's air-cooled. We have no water. We have no radiator. It's just done by air. And so after that, that's when they went to water-cooled in 1982. So this is more of a collector's bus, where, yeah, people recognize this nose and the shape of the van.
So saying that the van is that old, it's an awesome shape now,
Yes.
and air-cooled,
Yes.
and your whole idea is to make this your home on wheels and travel all over the place.
Yes.
Do you have any concerns about breakdowns or anything like that? Because I'm guessing parts are not easy to come by.
And people have asked me this before about, are you worried about breaking down? It's not about if, it's when. It will break down. But it's mechanical. And so I look and go, one, I won't live in fear, as in worrying about breaking down. Some of the stuff I've done to this van, and if you do any type of research, and like anything, it's preventative maintenance. I always say this, I'm not a mechanic. And I'm not. That wasn't my trade. But these engines are fairly simple to work on. And like I said, they're air cooled. So, am I worried about it? No, because the parts that I've accumulated, this is not my first van, and I've had vans before. And when they were cheap, like 16 years ago, I would be taking out engines, transmissions, front ends, selling them here and there. So I have a pretty good idea. But at that time, I was keeping parts. So that way, if I ever do need them, because these are coming off of German vans or buses. Right. This is a German bus. It's not made in Brazil. It was made in Germany. It was shipped to California, and then eventually shipped up to here, into Canada. Because if you take a look at the front and the dash, this unit originally had air conditioning in it.
It originally had air conditioning?
Originally has air conditioning in it. So we have a huge blower at the front, and I kept all that in there. Either I took the compressor out just because of weight. This van gross weight runs close to 5,000 pounds.
Which is crazy with how heavy that is.
5,000. And the engine is 4-cylinder. It's what they call a Type 4. It's a 4-cylinder engine. It has 67 horsepower. But with the automatic in it, it reduces it by 10%. So about 61 horsepower, pushing gross weight close to 5,000 pounds. Never mind, throw in 2 people, camping gear, water, firewood, propane bottles, clothing, sleeping bags. It gets heavy. But that being said, I'll still get 22, 23 miles per gallon.
Awesome. Hey guys, thanks for hanging out with us today with Miss Daisy and Paul and this awesome bus. If you guys like videos like this, please smash that like button. There is so much more to show you. We can show you how he did this, different videos, different steps, all the way from the floor to the ceiling to the walls to the stove to the fridge to the upholstery, you name it. It's gonna be awesome. If you have a question, leave a comment. I will bug Mr. Paul here to try and get the answers for you, or maybe he'll go in there and leave an answer himself. Again, guys, please smash that thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and ding that notification bell so you'll be notified the next time we put out a video, or when Paul decides that we want to put out another video of this cool bus, guys. Thanks so much for watching, and we will see you in the next video.